Hi, thanks for joining me. It's nice to spend time with you. This is your September reading. So before we start, September is a month of very busy astrological energies. Namely, a lot of them go back retrograde. 6 planets in total. We have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. Boom. And then for October, it's going to catapult us with the power of planets going direct again into a forward motion, which is going to feel very different from what we've been through currently. So I think October is going to be a month of fast movement and cosmic changes that are coming our way. Also in September, we have the equinox. The equinox is known to be a time of intensity, both weather-wise, because the seasons are changing, of course. But that weather isn't the only intensity. We can see there's an intensity with the astrological field, but also for us, we can feel the intensity of all of those energy fields put together, and that also creates power and passion and turbulence in many ways. So get ready for September. We'll see what's in store. I've done some intuitive work for you before we start your reading. Now, interestingly, you got a similar message to Pisces. So then I thought to myself, are there any Taurians out there in relationships with Pisces? So the word that came was remembrance. And it said, perhaps there are Piscean and Taurus relationships that are sharing a journey, and you might be being called to remember something you have put to the side or are ignoring or hiding from. Remember karmic influences. It may involve past life situations. So there might be something that you would want to work on, or that could be going on in the background that you could focus on, meditate with, or enact one way or another to bring, highlight, or to clear or to move forward a situation within relationships around you. Now the other thing I'm picking up on is orange, and we can see this beautiful salt lamp in the background glowing orange as well. So orange might be the solar plexus area, and that might be an area of your body that needs opening up, but it's also the area of creativity. So some of you may be pondering about more creative pursuits, or you may have had a block in creativity. The other thing that's coming to mind just as I'm doing the reading right now is a feeling of being not necessarily in isolation, but being alone, or feeling as though you enjoy periods of being alone. It's a feeling of pleasure that comes from that, of not relief, but of enjoyment or peacefulness. Maybe peacefulness was the correct word. So anyhow, let's start shuffling these for you guys. This is for Taurus for September 21. 3/4 of the way through the year, really. We have just gone back into lockdown ourselves here in New Zealand, so we're fully locked down. This card in the last few days while I've been doing the readings has come out multiple times. So you're not the only ones to get it. I'm thinking it's like a reset for everyone. Now, yours is coming on the side. I often think of cards that are coming in on the side as not fully being here. So it means that there's still a progress that is taking place for this to be enacted on. But let's keep going. For Taurus for September. Wow, very nice. There's that creativity. Okay, a reversal on the Justice card. There's another one that's come out. Nearly everyone has had this one, and often together, the Death and the Eight of Cups. Queen of Cups, Queen of Rods. Just another couple for you. I'll shuffle over here. Ooh, look at that. The Lovers. One more.
That's the first time that one's actually been out. Oh, there we go. This one's also been out, and it's been out aligned with this one. So we're sort of seeing a mix of things going on in your reading. Some really cool stuff by the look of it, and some more complex or perplexing items. So you have three major arcanas: the Death, the Justice reversed, the Lovers. You have an Ace, the Ace of Rods, a very popular one. You have two Court cards, a Cups and a Pentacle. So I think people are playing a role somehow in your month ahead, but essentially yourself as well, because this was your first card. So we know that the Death card traditionally means a rebirth, so thinking of something new, heading in a new direction, and it's at quite a deep level. Now, interestingly enough, the mountains in the back of that card here and that lake, even though it's red in colour, the video I was looking at for you guys had a picture on it that is almost identical, with these sharp peaks and this lake-like feeling. And that is why I was saying I get the feeling of you being alone or enjoying this time alone. And perhaps this is when you make this decision or you come to a realization about changes in your life, whether they are spiritual or whether they are physiological. You know, sometimes this card represents a change in a health modality or a change in lifestyle. It's a choice that you may have made over time due to something that's pushed you in that place. Sometimes it's not a very pleasant aspect, like you may have been unwell, or you may have realized a certain aspect of the way you were living was not good for you. It could be something along those lines, and that you are on the path to the journey of the new you. It can also be a very metaphysical card, talking about growth and awareness and spirituality and concepts and understanding. In fact, I've decided to show you the video that was playing in the background before I started dealing the cards, and it's this whole feeling of this beautiful lake and the mountains in the background and the orange grasses growing there. And then we see this very similar type of picture, different colour palette. But this is called transience. And transience means temporary, or like a temporary transition into something else, moving into a new phase, which is exactly what that first card meant. So there's some sort of relevance in here for you about the fact that it was card number one. You're moving from something into something new, and remember it came in on its side, which infers that it's still in the process of coming. You might not be fully aware of it yet, or you've only just started the pattern of making the change. The card, this next one, the Ace of Rods. We are in lockdown and it's very noisy in my house, so you might hear a lot of noise coming from the other rooms. It's just there's other people and animals all trying to peacefully live together. So anyhow, the Ace of Rods is a very beautiful card to receive, and with this one directly under it, the Queen, who's also at the apex of the wands or rods energy field, and the two of them together seem to be imbuing something. And remember I said to you this orange colour, which was about creativity and the sacral chakra. This is exactly that. It emits that frequency. So this is about being impassioned about something, becoming creative, finding new ideas. Sometimes this is in the sector of our careers, so there's opportunity here for new growth in career or complete change in career. It could be that you are feeling particularly inspired or creative at this point in time, or that you are passionate about an idea or a direction that you want to take something in. It doesn't just have to resemble our career sectors. It can be things that we are passionate about, or something that we are making or creating. So this can be at the, again, it can be at the spiritual level, it can be at the written level. So a lot of design concepts can come in through passion like this, and through creativity realms in this area as well. So some of you may be designing something or making it or wanting to bring it into this timeline to turn it into something structured and solid. This can be the new offer of ideas or jobs or propositions or partnerships coming up. In fact, with this one down here, and they join on the diagonal, the Lovers and the Ace, two very positive, powerful cards that could actually be referring to something like a partnership or a cooperation joining up between two people or even three. So it could be a promotion, it could be people coming to you with ideas or concepts that will help forward your pathway in life as well. Now, if none of this is making sense, or you're saying, no, it doesn't really gel with me, dig a little bit deeper and see where this positivity or creativity can be opened up. Because I did receive that message about that orange colour in the very beginning. And if it's not been in your mindset, or you haven't been actively involved in creating something, then this might be a time that you have this power to do so, or there's something bubbling away under the surface that you could actually start and become very creative with. It can also be a time of passion and fertility, because these two cards represent that as well. So there's a possibility here for pregnancies and conception. But again, it doesn't just have to relate to pregnancies either. It can be other areas of life. We come to the Justice, which is reversed, and it typically resonates with a Libran card or Libran energy. So it can reference a Libran sign, and when it's upright, it's the card of balance or bringing justice into situations. So because it's facing upside down or reversed and directly above the Lovers, it makes me feel as if there's something out of balance about a possible relationship. And is it that it goes back in time, because this is the Karma card, and karma is about past lives or what we've done in the past, usually more than just this lifetime. So sometimes referring to past lives. And this card can often refer to soulmates as well. And of course, soulmates are generally considered more than just this timeline or this lifetime. So there's this whole power going on through these two cards here that could be reflecting the very message that came up in the beginning about remembrance. And what could it be about something that has to do with karma and past lives that may be needing to be resolved or to be heightened or cleared or energized or looked at or uplifted even. For some of you, it might be that you're not realizing the depth of karma that's between you and another person in a relationship, and that it could be a very powerful thing if it were brought more into balance. It might be that you're missing some of the part of it. It might be related more to the other person's karma, and that it's time for them to repay it or to rebalance it or to put it right. And it might be that it's affecting you in one way or another. It could involve a Libran person, but this may be talking more about justice. Now, and it may not be a close, intimate person. It may just be someone within your circle of family or friends who it's affecting you one way or another. It could be that they are going through an experience where they are realizing that they need to bring harmony or balance back into a situation. This card can sometimes turn up when there are court hearings going on and to do with family issues, and sometimes child custody as well. So some of those references might turn up for the Justice card. It is definitely a very long playing card, and when we're talking about past lives and karmic effects. This one here is walking away, new beginnings, exactly the same as this one over here. And as I say, it's repeating its pattern in so many readings, even though the deck is fully shuffled every time, then reshuffled again on screen, they're coming out together. So there's something going on in the background for so many of the astrological signs that is beyond your doing. It's almost like it's happening in the background. We could say
look at the state of the world that we're in at the moment, this whole COVID thing. We can't help it. It's beyond our ability to tame it as such, and we're part of that overall picture, and that picture is part of a whole karmic destiny anyhow. So it's feeling like we're in a cycle of we just have to move through the things that are coming. You either learn from them and you grow from them, or you sit there and you become bitter and infested with them, you know, one or the other. But this one is definitely about moving away from something that was unbalanced. And we've got this unbalance here with this Justice card. And it's tying in very tightly. These four are all about relationships in many, many ways. And often about personal relationships or something that's been unbalanced within a personal relationship. Again, it doesn't have to be an intimate one, but it's someone that you would be quite close to. If we come down here to these two, these are often people in your life that could be a water sign and a fire sign. They could be someone like relatives or someone you are close to. Generally, they would be supportive and nurturing. You can go to this one for a listening ear. They give from the heart and they're very warm and nurturing and supportive, whereas this one is more likely ideas related and fiery and passionate. And if you go and tell this one your troubles or your problems, she's just as likely to go, right, let's go and fix that, whereas this one's likely to go, let's just calm down and we'll think about it together and you can cry on my shoulder. So they could be around for you in terms of support. For some of you, they could be potential new partners that come in. And they could be new partners as in love interest. They could be new partners in terms of business associates, or this one in particular, well, perhaps both of them, could be new people in your life for something involved with this cycle up here, which, as I said before, could be related to health modalities. The lovers we've touched on briefly. It is about soulmate relationships. It can be about partnerships. It can be about making choices. This is making choices. Do I stay or walk away? This is about making choices. This one is having choices made for you. So sometimes this one here can represent new business partnerships as well that can be very profitable and go on to be very positive and grow well and be productive. So there's a potentiality for here that this might be going through a legal process to form a business association or to expand a business, bring in a new partner. That's what these two could be tied up doing. And maybe at the moment there could be a glitch in the timing of the paperwork that's coming, something along those lines. This can also be a choice because sometimes 3 people can be involved. And you say, what choice do I make? Do I stay with this person or do I go with this one or this one? Or am I becoming the 3rd person? So the lovers can represent a triangle or a tangle of emotions, but it's always about emotions and it's usually always about relationships one way or another. We come to this card, not a particularly pleasant one, but the 5 of Pentacles is transient, it's short-lived. So oftentimes it means things could be a bit tight with finances. Now it's the only card that you received relating specifically to the Pentacles, which often relates to our money. So there could be an indicator here that says you may find things could be a bit tight in September. Perhaps it's because you are waiting on money for a business liaison or a document coming through a legal team, or you're waiting on a bank document, or you're waiting on money from an ex-partner, or the sale of something and it's slowed up or it's less than you thought it was. This can be the sort of thing here that could be interpreted in this card. So there's a cautionary note within it that says don't overspend then in this month of September. Watch your budget and keep a little bit of a tighter rein on your spending or your finances. But it also talks to us about feeling left out of a community, shut away from something, as does this card up here a little bit as well. And we see a lot of red in here and a lot of yellow. So there's this feeling of repetition coming through, even though this is an 8 and this is a 5. There's a feeling to me as if you are definitely walking away from something that you may feel you've been a little bit shut out of, and part of that is to do with this feeling over here. It's time to start anew. I'm moving on to fresher pastures for one reason or another. I think when this card comes out, there's no denying that there is change in the air. So let's put these ones up here and see what last cards come for you from the Keepers of the Light. I particularly love this deck, and I haven't had it out for some time. I'm not sure why, but it seems really nice and nurturing to have them here at this point in time because, well, for us, we've just gone back into full lockdown. Pull Venetian, experience and grace, share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. And Holy Amethyst, divine alchemy. Move beyond current challenges and focus on what you desire. Now, both of these two have actually been out before. I'm not sure if they came together for the readings, but this one here, waves of inspiration and love, are coming to you. In your reading, you had all this inspiration with these two who are sitting directly above him. This is your inspiration and creativity, and this is your love coming in. So these three bode very well with his message there. And move beyond current challenges is this one that may have popped up in these two. So the two of them have heralded in the last couple of messages from your reading. So there we are, Taurus, a grounded reading in many ways with lots of practical messages for you, but ideas of inspiration coming in and the support of Holy Amethyst and Pull the Venetian. So you can call upon them any time in the month to enjoy their harmony and their energetic field that they will give you for support and answers and insight. So thanks for joining me, guys, and I wish you the very best of alchemic grace and love as you move through September. Check your moon and rising signs and sub the channel, leave your comments. Much love. Namaste.